Responding to inquiries. All right? Answer. Management objectives. Answering inquiries. Two main ways to do this. Old school and new school. Old school is still doing it by the phone, where I answer all the inquiries. Actually, I assign somebody to answer the inquiries. My assistant answers the calls. When I'm answering the call, three main objectives. Get them to the showing, pre-qualify, and sell them on the idea. When they're answering the call, three objectives. Pre-qualify, get them to the showing, which is kind of the same as sell them on the idea of the property. Not quite the same, but close to the same. Because if they don't come to the property, we've wasted our time. So the whole thing is when they're talking on the phone, all right, what time? I've got 2 times where we can show it to you. I don't ask them when they want to see it. Even if I want them, I want to show that I'm in control. I want my assistant to show that they're in control. Why? I'm setting the expectation of who's going to be in control in a nice way. But I don't want them to think that we're going to jump. When somebody called, I used to get on the white horse, dun, 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 and go running whatever time they said. We don't do that anymore. We've got 2 times that we're showing it in the next couple of days. What time would be better for you? I like doing group showings. Your question? Automated showing is the new way, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. Right now, I'm doing the old-fashioned way. We're talking on the phone, we're getting them to come, and we're doing a group showing. I like group showings instead of individual showings. If I have more than one person there, they're excited. Creates a sense of excitement. Yes, I want it, Mr. Taylor. I've even had them start to do an auction. Literally. You want 800, I'll give you 825. I'll give you 850. Who give me 9? You think I'm joking, but I'm serious. Okay? But the whole sense of excitement is there when you do group showings. When it's just one person, they look like they're the prize. They feel like they're the prize. They're there to get a deal. Well, you could take a little bit less. So it's going in the wrong direction when it's just one person. I want to go in the other way. So that's the old school way, which I still use. Track all of your lead sources. Everybody that calls. You should be asking, how did you find out about this apartment? How did you find out about this home? Why is that important? So you know what advertising is working for you. So many rental property owners, they don't even stop to ask that, what I consider a critical question that will save you in the long run. So you'll know what marketing is working best for you. How did you hear about our property? And track it so that when I do marketing in the future, I'm far more effective. Pre-screen, so even on the phone, get them to the showing. Mrs. Jones, remind me to tell you about the move-in gift that we give to all new residents. Why am I saying that? Entice them to the showing. That's the only reason I'm doing that. And I don't even tell them what the gift is. They see it once they get there. But it doubled the number of people who now show up than before. They want to see what the free gift is. Assign services to assist you. There's some examples of Showmo. What is it? Anybody use the company website Showmo Joe? Is that what it is? Showmo Joe.
Tenant Turner does it too.
Who does? Tenant Turner. Yep, that's another one. Those are websites and services that you can send your people to, and they will set up the showings and connect it to a lockbox so that the people go and see it. In other words, if you're looking for a hands-off way of showing your property, Showmo Joe, if I'm saying it right, and what was the other tenant? Tenant Turner are 2 options for doing that. Lockbox showings. That's the other way. Now, some landlords, they take the calls, but they don't go and show it. They have a lock box set up. Any of you do lock box showing? You do. Is it working out okay for you? Yeah. Okay, talk to me. How does that process work? Tenant screening.
And
If they qualify,
and let them go to the apartment.
Go to the apartment.
Call me up.
Call you up.
I give them the lockbox number.
Give them the lockbox number.
Go in.
Call you, FaceTime you.
And then they
Come back out. Switch your numbers around. Call you and let.
switch numbers around. Like, just move around.
Change them out.
Right.
And then you send somebody out to make sure nothing was done funny. Okay. And that's working out well for you. Okay. And over here you're doing that?
Basically the same thing.
Okay.
You know, I probably don't change my code after enough people go through it, that they could go back.
Okay.
And I tell them to call me.
A copy of their driver's license, or they download it? How did they get that to you? Take a picture, text it to you. Okay. You have a question?
No, I just say,
Watch out for squatters. In some states, that's more of a problem than others.
if it happened to us once.
It happened to you once. Okay. And how did you end up getting them out?
We had to get an attorney. We had to go to court.
Had to go to court. Wow. How many days did they end up staying there?
Oh, they are pro.
Months.
Yeah, they are pro. Took us 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Because they falsified the pay
Oh, so they actually went through the application process,
Yeah, but falsify everything. So.
So we let them in.
let them in. So they didn't even, it wasn't that they got approved and you gave them a key. They just turned in something and then went in a lockbox.
Landlord gives them access.
I give them access.
And what state are you in? Florida. Interesting. Okay. No, he said he never did rent to them. Once they got in there, they just stayed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You have to be careful.
You don't anymore. Okay.
No, that's fine.
All right. So you're hearing, those of you that are listening, watching, you hear two different viewpoints. One, it works extremely well for. On the other hand, be careful about
You gotta be
squatters.
careful. I'm always worried.
Yes.
I'm curious what you guys do differently now.
They don't do it now.
But how do you?
I do group showing. I get it to
Okay.
Yeah, they were pros.
All right. There were pros. All right. So, but you now do group showings.
Yeah.
All right. Next. The alternative approach. All inquiries are responded to by voicemail, message, or email. Inquiries are directed to a website. So for some people, inquiries come in, they're directed to go to a website. On the website, there's a questionnaire for them to fill out, which is kind of like a pre-application process. If they meet the pre-application process, then they go to a lockbox showing. So, pre-qualified, applicant is given access to the home for a self-tour. If applicant is interested, they fill out a formal application on site or on the website. If pre-approved, they're contacted within 24 hours. So that's the alternative approach, where you're not doing a group showing, where you're not talking to them directly. They inquire, they get a voicemail message, go to this website. On that website, they're instructed to fill out a questionnaire. If they meet the qualifications, they do the self-tour. If applicant is interested, fill out the formal application, and within 24 hours, they're told if they're approved. How many of you do that, more of that approach? Anybody?
I do it up to the self-tour.
You do it all the way up to the self-tour.
I don't give them a key. I meet them.
You meet them. But when people come in, you send them to a website? Go to Google Docs and fill out a form.
Fill out a form.
And if they're approved, that's when you get involved.
That's when I get involved.
Okay?
And it has revolutionized. It's huge.
Wait a minute. It's revolutionized the way you deal with applicants now? Is that what you're saying?
It used to be overwhelming. You have
Okay.
Right. Now everyone I talk
All right, revolutionize, mainly because you don't have to deal with all the losers that are calling one right after the other.
I have a different word.
No, that's okay. So now you only deal with the people who have been pre-approved. So
And I
it's
deal with them
made
on
life
my
a whole lot easier for you
And I also deal with them on my timeline.
on your timeline. You contact them when you're ready. You had a comment or a question? My suggestion would be just to send a standard email. Yep. Saying you did not meet our minimum requirements at this time. Yes. You know somebody who actually knows computer coding.
So the ad,
Initial contact says send you an
and
email.
that particular email has
An autoresponder.
responder to do the pre-qualification.
Okay. So they send an email. You have an autoresponder that responds back with the form for them to fill out, or the questions for them to fill out.
And then some of the
Basic.
something that's going to completely.
And that automatic, so if something is clear disqualification or doesn't meet your qualification, they get another autoresponder back. And what does that basically say? Sorry, you don't meet my minimum requirements. All right? Question or comment?
Oh, I do everything you have there.
You had to do everything there.
But, when I
Okay, so you don't worry about doing the self-tour in between. All right, so the comment that's being made here is you follow those steps that's on the alternative approach to answering inquiries. When it gets to the self-tour, you say no, you just go ahead and give the application at that point.
at the point, and then they can go ahead and
Once they fill out the application, if they're approved, now we move forward with the self-tour. And okay,
so that's
understand. By the way, somebody you asked the question, what's the pre-application, the pre-qualification? Really, it's everything that's on an application for the most part, but it's more minimal stuff. But you're not asking for, I'm assuming, social security number, personal information that.
I guess if they're going through my house.
Okay, so then you might want to go ahead and have them fill out more of the formal application before you go the next step.
I have a question. Are you getting the
I don't get it.
application
I have that happen often now.
before they enter the property?
Yep, I do too. Yeah, most of my residents now, they actually pay the application fee. Even though we do, a lot of times people, they're wanting to move in. I said, well, look, even before we set up a showing, whether it's a group showing or you come on your own, I'm asking for the application. In fact, here's our response. We say, Mrs. Jones, the property will be able to show within the week. I say it like that. I said, however, we would strongly recommend that you go ahead and do the application now, get pre-approved, and that way, as soon as you get pre-approved, we'll be able to do the showing for you. So that's how I do it. And I thought I would get a lot of pushback, but I don't. Every now and then I get a little bit, and I say, fine, Mrs. Jones, but when the property's ready to show, we may already have an applicant at that time. Yes, ma'am?
What are you guys charging?
Well, for me, it's just $20. All right, so what do you charge?
$50.
$50.
Holy
Okay?
cow.
All right?
Yeah, we shouldn't get that.
All right? Yeah, you could.
I don't go. Heck no, there ain't nobody coming to it.
Showing the property, we will start with showing the property after lunch. Yes.
So if they pay $50 and then they don't get it, they'll be so angry, right? And then they'll ask, when you send them a message that you don't meet my qualification. I had a woman come, what do you mean I don't meet, what's your qualification? Why did I qualify? Why don't I? I had a lady come and yell at me.
To me, I'm actually happy when people get upset with me at that stage of the game because that lets me know they're not cooperative. But I'm not asking for $50 either, so maybe they're not as mad at me as they are at you.
If they know something's up, they're not gonna wanna apply.
All right?
If they're interested, they're gonna pay. Well, their laws, you have to be careful, because their laws in my state, and I gather from the only state, have to show how you used it.
So again, be careful with the amount that you're charging for an application fee. Some states have limits. In fact, I was in Iowa, I think, where they said that you can only charge, wasn't it a limit? Maybe not. Maybe not. It seemed like it was one state I was just in. It was either Iowa or Wisconsin. They told me that there's a limit on the amount of application fee you can charge. In many states, that is the case. So be
I
careful.
would bet Iowa has that.
All right.
I would bet.
We're going to take our lunch break now.